Hi guys, good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Nancy Schaefer, Missing Persons Recovery Specialist. I am popping back on live to do an update on Sherri Papini, the missing mother of two out of Redding, California, that was found alive after being missing in between, I think it's 3 weeks or 22 days. I did a video yesterday regarding my theories and things that I have found in my investigation with her, and I have been made aware that they're looking into the fact with her maiden name, which, to be honest with you, they're saying it very vague. They're saying they're looking into that as being a reason for the abduction, or alleged abduction. Supposedly they're not saying yes, they're admitting that it was her who was running that blog or website, or if it was someone using her name. So right now this may be a case of mistaken identity. There is a blog or a website that was done in between 2005, 2006, and 2007, talking about Spanish girls and Latina girls in a derogatory way. I seen it myself. Unfortunately, these blogs or websites are not accessible anymore, as well as other stuff with Sherri Papini, which I find a little suspicious. Like the LinkedIn account has been pulled down. The website or blog that I was referring to is not accessible. So they're not really saying yes, it was her who was doing that under her maiden name, or the fact that someone was doing this under her name, and that, or having someone else having the same name as Sherri Papini's maiden name. But the one thing that I find very, very telling, and reason why my theory I think is right, about either if this is her blog, if this was not the reason for the abduction. In reports, the branding was one sick girl or one sick person, which goes along with my theory. Law enforcement is looking into that as being part of the theory, and if this isn't Sherri Papini's blog, is this a case of mistaken identity? If that's not her blog or her website saying the things and called skinheads, and it's someone with the same name as Sherri Papini's maiden name, did they take and torture the wrong girl for those purposes, if that was the motive? So I think it's a very good motive, and I pride myself in my work with these cases. So yes, it has been confirmed that my theory is being looked into. Again, they're not stating if yes, that is her blog or website, or it is not her blog or website. They're not saying if she admitted that it's hers or if she did admit it hers. But one thing that I did find telling was references being a case of mistaken identity, as that may being someone else's name or someone else using her maiden name. As this unravels, if you notice, guys, I am going live and I have to pay attention to the road, and my phone is on a swivel, so since I'm half blind, I'm not going to be able to read the comments, but as soon as I stop, I will be able to address any comments. But I did want to update you guys from the live feed that I did yesterday, that and it is public that they're looking into that as being a theory. So we have I still think that there's enough here to say that I can understand why people think this is like a hoax or some kind of fraud thing. There's a YouTube video out there that called 50 Shades of Hoax. I also regarding Sherri Papini's case, and some of the things that they found I find very telling. I haven't really looked into their theories because basically it wasn't anyone talking. It was just a bunch of screenshots of like Facebook posts and stuff from their family, which doesn't really say what's connected. It's kind of weird, and I don't even know how valid it is. I would have to really sit down and look into it. Yeah, it's certainly odd. I'm stopped now. Yeah, it has been odd from the beginning, but you know that I've been working on this case, and I said it before. Missing in America has 80 to 90 hours, and I did look at my spreadsheet into this, working on this case, and I even said a prayer for her abductors to release them. Not me personally, but someone else did on our live Facebook post, and then 4 hours she was released. I don't really know why, but I really think that my theory about the abduction was based off of this website or blog. Again, they're not admitting that it's her, or that she admitted that it was her website or her blog, or whatever the circumstances is. But I did know from the beginning of the case, and if you look back to my YouTube channel on my thoughts on the investigation when she first was abducted, I did feel that it was more than one person. And that being said, there was only 4 sex offenders that would fit the profile that would abduct a woman in mid-daylight with more than one person. Usually it's not indicative of a sex offender to be especially more than one person, unless it was the abduction was but one thing that I find odd, and it's something I found in my investigation, but then again we go based off of a lot of the what do you want to call those, the the beginnings and what's released in the movies, and in the papers and stuff, and half the time that stuff ain't true anyway. But one thing that I did find quite odd, and I don't know if anyone else caught it, but I have a feeling that if this is a hoax, that this phone and these earplugs were planted where they were planted. And let me tell you why. And he even, the husband says it even in his 2020 interview, that he originally went to that spot, left, and then went back again, and then did the Find My Phone app. Why did he not do the Find My Phone app? If that's the case, of when he found it and when he published it, there is a time lapse in there. So that's one of the other things that are very suspicious to me. There might be something that I don't know of, but I have an iPhone. I have used the Find My iPhone app several times, if not a lot, because I'm constantly losing my phone. That I know that if you use your Find My Phone app and you go to an area, you're gonna go somewhere else before you actually go back and find the phone. Like, again, it's not something that it could be explained, or maybe the way it's put out is not explained correctly, but I find that strange, and I'd like to know the answer to that question, because if you use the Find My Phone app, or the husband would have found the Find My Phone, would have found the phone in that area right away, not the second time. Therefore, questions me if that phone and the earbuds, especially where pictures of how it was placed, which was on top of each other, if someone was grabbed, it's not going to be planted like that. And the phone earbuds are not going to be on top of each other. But is that the original picture? These are why people have so many questions, is because instead of actually putting out there to the people what the facts are of the case or the real pictures, then how do they expect people to not have their own theories and think that this is a scam or a hoax? Now, another thing in the 50 Shades of Hoax also puts out, with Sherri Papini, puts out the fact that the sister-in-law is an actress. It's just certainly, and it showed one of the interviews that they did with the sister and the sister-in-law about the sister-in-law laughing. I was very disturbed by that. But, you know, we all know that we don't like to be put into judgmental state. I've been a victim of this with people basing their opinion on not knowing 100% of the facts. That being said, is this a hoax? Is this not a hoax? They have the 777 code theory. There's just like a whole bunch of stuff going on here. My beginnings of my investigation were absolutely straight on as far as what I thought. It was more than one person. I even said that I doubt it was male, due to the fact usually sex offenders don't act together, and if they do, usually it's planned, and usually there's some kind of criminality motive behind the person or the people who abducted the person. And that's usually, like I said, that's usually not something someone grabs someone off the street like that, being more than one person. So I think that I want you guys to keep your you know, the people that are thinking that this is a hoax, until you know all the facts, try to keep the comments to a minimal. And I know it's hard to do because people are angry, you know. I don't understand why, since she's been recovered. Oh, and another thing I wanted to bring to a case, another thing that I thought that was really, really odd with this case, and I was wondering why it's possibly a hoax, is this hostage negotiator. I mean, was this a ploy to like promote their business? I mean, that's one of the things, to be honest with you, that crossed my mind. I mean, I don't think so. I think you have to be really stupid to do something like that. But I don't know about you guys, but that's something that crossed my mind. I've never seen that pop up in a case to where you don't even know really who abducted the person. To have someone go on public TV and say they're a hostage negotiator and offer that kind of money. I've never seen that with a missing persons case. I've been doing this for 11 years. You know, and the way that they offered it and the way they said it and the thing, and I'm like, is this person trying to promote a business? Like, it's not even like, I just thought it would, me, I'm gonna have to say, and I'm sorry if it's not that, I thought that was extremely strange, because it's like this kind of business just pops up out of nowhere. You've never seen it before. I've never seen them negotiate a case to where I never saw them negotiate a case of a missing child. I've just never seen this in any other case, so it kind of like blindsided me, and like, who the heck are these people? Hostage negotiators. Well, there was no ransom that I'm aware of. Then why would you need a hostage negotiator, especially public like that? I don't know. I may be wrong, and these are my personal opinions, but there's something fishy there. And to me, I mean, like, again, I have never ever seen their types of business. If I am, I'm wrong, then that's great. but I've never seen a person pop up in the middle of a case that you are not even sure that it is an abduction for money, because there wasn't any ransom demand made, to have a hostage negotiator that you literally came out of nowhere, that I've never seen involved in any other cases, offer something. It was almost like made for TV, and people are wondering why. Let me read your question now that I'm stopped. Yeah, Mary, that was one of the biggest things that we're talking about Sherri Papini. It was almost like live scripted movie. People, the husband wants to sit there and say it's absolutely absurd and ridiculous that people are thinking these things. It was almost like we were watching a movie as it unfolds, for real. And then people want to sit there and say that that it's absurd and people are bad that they're thinking these things. I'm a missing persons recovery specialist, buddy, and I'm thinking it. So, and as much as my little trolls want to sit there and say I have a huge success recovery rate, I don't give a crap what anyone says. I was right on the money with this case and what my thoughts were about it. Watch video number 1 of mine when she first went missing. I was 100% on the money. And I'm telling you that I feel like I was watching a movie with this case. A hostage negotiator? There wasn't even I feel like this was a made-for-movie TV show, that this isn't real. So, you know what? The fact that I spent 90 hours working on this case on my own time for free, do I get a part in the movie? I mean, seriously, I've never ever seen a hostage negotiator or has even heard of their business in my 11 years. Hold on. I am stopped, so I'm gonna look. Yeah, you know what? Good. Then I hope I get a big part in the movie, because this is ridiculous. It was almost like that this was made for TV. It's just, you know, if the husband or the family members are watching this, which I'm sure they are, because after I put the LinkedIn profile on the thing to support one of my theories, all of a sudden the link didn't work. If you want to know why people think that this is a hoax or a scam, these are the reasons, and I just laid them all out. Who uses a hostage negotiator? It was like I was watching a movie that I've never seen or heard before in my 11 years. And why would a hostage negotiator be brought on when there wasn't a ransom demand that I'm aware of? I mean, hell. I mean, if there's things that people don't know and they're basing their opinions off of people that don't sit there and pay. People should be ashamed of themselves. People invested a lot of time into either working their case, search and rescue, which probably absorbed millions of dollars in resources. And you are going to be angry? You're going to sit there and say people are horrible? If not, then this is possibly a case of mistaken identity. If there was someone using her maiden name, talking bad, and police are looking into my theory now, or if it was her, if that was not the motive, that the reason why she was abducted and beat the crap out of and had branded very sick woman, which all fits together. So I wanted to say, you know, that it is currently being looked into, and I will fill you guys in when I'm done. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, since there's no questions, as I find out more information and bring it to you guys, I will give you guys the updates. I'll be back on, I guess, in a couple days regarding this case. Bye-bye. Have a great evening. Hope everyone has their Christmas shopping done.